Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is December 18th. It's Tuesday, 2018. I gotta show you the sky. The sky actually looks beautiful today. Had some sunshine, which was a nice change. It was very cold, still very cold right now, but with the sun out a little bit today, not bad at all. The panels, we had more snow overnight, so the panels were all iced over. And so I was out here trying to clean those off this morning, and then you kind of have to wait on the sun to get out here and do its thing. And I tried to come out and was sweeping it up a little bit, but you can still see ice on parts of it. It just never got it all off today. But these ones are doing fine. All right, so I wanted to. Okay, so first of all, everybody, thank you for clearing it up. I couldn't remember exactly, and I thought I was wrong when I said Jacob, and it was Joseph. With the Pharaoh, and so thank you very much for clearing that up, so that I appreciate that. So there was a whole bunch of people that did it, so that was very cool. All right, so the topic I want to talk about today, and a couple people have mentioned this in the comments, which I already knew about, but I wanted to bring it up so that people would understand what is a possibility that could happen. There's laws on the books right now that will enable the government, either local or the federal government, to take your preps and redistribute them as they see fit, okay, for the very reasons you're prepping. So if there is an emergency and they've decided that it's a federal emergency or a national emergency, or let's say it is martial law has been enacted, okay. So first of all, let's talk about martial law for a second. If martial law is ever enacted, the Constitution is suspended. You have no right to free assembly. They can put a curfew on where you can go. There's no right to assembly. They can detain you without any due cause or purpose. And there's a lot that goes in with that if they do martial law. So that's something to think about. So I want you guys to be aware of that if there is ever a martial law, they basically can do whatever they want. They can put troops in the streets to maintain order if that's what they see fit to do, okay? So anyway, I wanted to talk about, of course now the mainstream has labeled prepping bad and worse, okay? So we already know that. Anybody that preps, you kind of have to keep things a lot of times on a down low just because of the stigma that goes along with prepping, or being a constitutionalist, or being a gun owner. And there's all kinds, the list goes on, of things that are now out of favor, if you will, when it comes to, what the media wants to portray people as, okay? So they have the anti-hoarding laws. There's we're gonna talk about executive order. It's the National Defense Resource Preparedness, okay? Obama put this in 2012, in March of 2012, this went into effect. Now the section, if you're going to go look this up, guys, okay, the section that I want you to really pay close attention to is section 801, okay? And it's going to give a whole list of things that they can commandeer if there is a national emergency and if they decide to declare martial law and just basically do whatever they want, okay? So transportation, if they decide they want your vehicles, they're going to come in and take any vehicles that you have. Another one would be energy, any form of energy. Like if they came here and said, hey, we need these solar panels for the greater good of everybody, they will take the solar panels, okay? Farm equipment, they can go to any farm and take whatever they decide that they need for the greater good of everybody. All right, fertilizer would be another one. Food resources. So any kind of food resources that you have, they have the legal right to come in and commandeer and take whatever you have. I'm just looking at the puppies. I got to turn this around so you can see them. Look at them over there. They're watching the cars go by. Very intently watching the cars. That's so funny. Okay, so anyway, food resource facilities. So like any kind of restaurant or anything like that, if they deem that those goods need to be taken, they can take them, all right? So this all goes back to the 1950 War and National Defense Production Act. And if you want to look at that one, the section that you want to pay close attention to is section 2072, okay? So there are laws on the books where if they decide that we are in a national emergency or something like that is going on, or if they need to enact martial law, they can basically come in and do whatever they want to do to anybody in this country, and there's nothing that you can do about it. So when I talk to you guys about having food caches and having caches of other supplies, that's why I talk about those things. You have to put yourself in a position to be able to survive whatever's going to happen, and that includes your own government coming and taking your stuff, or your local authorities coming and demanding your things. It's like, basically, how would they know who a prepper is? Obviously, YouTube would be one way, so obviously I would definitely be a target of that. You know, how do you counteract that? So if you are prepping, you know, keep what you have on the down low. Don't tell as many people. Don't, you know, let a whole lot of people know what you have or the amount of what you have. Let them think that you may have a little bit extra, and you know, but don't let them know to the full extent of what you have. But also, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, you know, have caches like I've talked about before, and have supplies well hidden, so that if somebody comes in and is searching for your stuff, that you have, you know, false walls or whatever you have, then that's where you have your preps in those places, so that they're not going to be able to see them. Okay. So one of the things that, you know, with that I wanted to talk about too, the government can determine what is a reasonable amount of stuff that you should have on hand in that type of an emergency. So if they decide that, you know, I mean, right now, if you go, there was a checklist that they had, and I can't remember if it was like Homeland Security or FEMA or one of those things, but they had a list out, and the possibility that if you could be a domestic terrorist, and one of the things on that list was having more than a 2-week supply of food and water on hand. Oh, and that's the other thing that they can commandeer, is any of your water resources as well. So remember that, something to think about as well. And remember, we're going to redistribute it for the greater good of everybody else. Probably keep it for themselves is what they would probably realistically do. So anyway, those are things to think about, guys. And I want to definitely hear your feedback on this topic, because I think it's really, really important. You know, being smart about what you're doing. Yeah, I do put myself out here. And but I want to teach people, I want to help people, I want people to be ready, not to be scared. I want you to stay focused on what you want to do, and I'm trying to help people. That's what I do. You know, being in the medical field as long as I have, that's what we do. We help people. And being a prepper, hold on one second, you're going to hear me yell for a second. Oh, come on, babies. Caesar, Pandora. Come on, I see you. They're wandering off into the woods, so I don't want them to go too far. So anyway, you know, stay focused. Like I said, don't get distracted, and you know, keep things on the down low. Don't let people know exactly what you have. And if you can do caches, I would suggest you do them, because, you know, whatever the game plan is for the United States and the people here, I don't think it's in our best interest, I'll be honest with you. So the best thing that we can do is be smart, and that's what we need to do. We really, truly need to be smart. So anyway, so that's what I wanted to talk about, and I definitely, like I said, I want to hear, you know, your feedback on that topic. Hold on a second, you're going to hear me yell one more time. Puppies! Come on! Come on, babies! Hey, the babies, come on! Come on, Caesar! Come on, Pandora. Now I'm going to show you this here, guys. Look over here. Come on, babies. See him? Good babies. Good babies. Anyway, so remember, guys, we are all in this together. Like I said, I definitely want to hear your feedback and what you have to say. And, you know, it's really important. I mean, I think that it's something that we need to be aware of, that they can do whatever they want to do whenever they decide to enact these things. So we need to be careful. And so stay focused. And so anyway, remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen. And remember, you know, it's STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from getting there is yourself. Nobody else can do that, okay? And you know, just keep doing what we're doing, you know. Be smart, guys. Get those caches put up. I'm telling you, if you can do it. And like I said, here's another piece of advice. Don't put them on your own property. If you can do that too, that's a smart move too, okay? So anyway, I will talk to you all tomorrow. I hope everybody's having a great day. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.